Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Conversations with Mrs. West. I am your girl, Mrs. West. I hope that you all had a wonderful day today. I hope that you got to where you were going safely. I hope you were in a good mood and a positive spirit, and it just went well for you. Tonight, the topic is once the glue is gone. I know most of you think of an adhesive or, something that helps to keep things together. Um, that's what I'm talking about. But the glue that I am referring to today is that family member or loved one that holds the family together. Either they're still here with us. Good evening, West. Welcome. Or they have transitioned on elsewhere, hopefully to heaven. I chose to talk about that tonight because I know a lot of us are grieving over lost loved ones. And I don't know if the person that you are grieving over was that person, was the glue for the family. But things change when they gone. Things change when they leave here. Things change when they're not around anymore. And some people really have a hard time dealing with loss itself, but they have a hard time when, that glue, that person that held everything together with the family is gone because, things are not the same. The glue of the family is that knowledgeable, strong, level headed, loving, non judgmental matriarch or patriarch of the family. They are loved, they are respected, and honored by all the members of the family. You will never catch someone raising their voice. You will never catch someone being disrespectful. You will never catch someone, you know, um, just treating them any kind of way because we hold them on a higher standard than everyone else in the family because they're 9 out of 10 times they're the elders. You know what I mean? They've lived life, they've been through multiple things, and they have all the knowledge that we need. We go to them for many things. The glue brings the family together for holidays, when trouble arises with someone in the family, if you fall on hard times, um, when you need that good hug or that good, home cooked meal, they are the ones that we go to. They are the ones that we go to. Those are the people that we look forward to spending that quality time with. Hey, welcome, sis. Welcome. Um, we're talking about the glue of the family, the person that holds everybody together, the person that we confide in, we love, we honor, we cherish. The glue is someone you can confide in about life, about religion, about relationships, about parenting, or even just recipes. Things that you would love to learn how to make because they make them so well. It's so delicious. You want to learn from them. You want to get in the kitchen and try a couple of things. They inspire you. The glue corrects you when you do wrong, but with love and reassurance. They let you know how to better deal with life situations and how to love those in spite of their differences. So if you're having a spat with your family member, a cousin, a sister, a brother, whatever, the glue is the person that you want to go to and talk to. They're going to give you the real. He or she will definitely give you some jewels and open your mind to think differently or to feel differently about a situation that you're going through. The glue is the one that prays for you daily and wants the best for your life. They will protect you and provide a safe, loving place for you always. Always. You will never have to worry about them acting funny style towards you, doing anything crazy to you, talking crazy to you, anything like that. Because everything they do or say is coming from their heart, is coming from a place of concern and care for you because they love you that much. The glue will tell you all about yourself and hold you accountable for all your BS. So nothing is going to slip by them. Nothing's getting pushed under the rug. When you're wrong, you're wrong. They're going to tell you about it. When you're right, they're going to tell you that you're right. You're in the right headspace. They will definitely let you know about that. They will give you some of the best advice because they have experienced it in life. Anything they say to you, you can guarantee is the real because that's just who they are. They don't bend or break for anyone. So you can't persuade them to be a certain way or to go against this sibling or to go against the aunt or the cousin or whatever the case is. They're not here for the nonsense. They're not here for any of the mess that you're talking about because they already know what it is. They live life. They know the ins and outs. They've experienced so many different things, and that's just not what they're going for. They're not going for it at all. At all. So, the glue. They eventually mature and life happens just as well as all of us. Once we get to a certain age, or, if we fall ill, or, life happens. We're not going to be here forever. We all know that we have to go one day, but we just don't know when. Some people outlive others. You live to 90. That I pray I could live to see my 90s and be in a good headspace and, physically able to move around and get around. But it's all up to God. I don't know. Many hearts are broken due to this tragic event, but it's life. We will all go sometime, as I said. What we do after they have passed means everything. So, the things that you used to do, like you want to make them proud, you want to make them happy, you want to put a smile on their face, you want to bring them good news, you want to, cheer them up because you don't know what's on their mind or what they're going through. Good evening, Sissy. Welcome, welcome. So we always try to do things that make them happy and that make them proud of us, excuse me. Now, I get that at first, everyone is filled with all kinds of emotions after the loss of the glue. It's to be expected. It is a great loss. We all need time to process the hurt. We all deal with loss differently in families. Some families, they get together, they crack jokes. Some families, they get together, they cook lots of food and fellowship and talk and everything. Some families, they get together and they praise and worship. Some families get together and they sing. If you got a family full of singers, we get together, we sing different songs, and just have a good time, uplift one another. Or some, we just get together at the lost loved one's house and we just hang out and, just spend time with one another, be there, reminisce about the old times, reminisce about stories that they told us. We laugh, we cry, whatever the case is, we just get together, so we have that support system. After reality sets in, we try to get together with family to discuss holding up our family traditions, holiday gatherings, birthday gatherings, just because gatherings, cookouts, family fun nights, and just checking in regularly on one another. You try to keep that going because that's something that the glue had everybody doing. It was a family tradition. We got together, we ate, we laughed, we had a good time, we looked out for one another, we loved on one another. And once they're gone, you try to keep that up. You try to keep that going so that everybody doesn't go their separate ways. These things may happen for a little while, but things start to dwindle down as time goes on. Next thing you know, you haven't had a family gathering in almost a year. And this happens so quickly because time goes by so fast. Life is happening. You're working, you're taking care of your kids, or you're going to school, or you're doing this and you're doing that. And you really don't even pay attention to how much time that it's been since you've got together with your family. Yeah, you might see your cousins here and there, or check on them, or call them, or, here and there you went out and, things happen. But time will definitely get away from you. Um, you may be the one who reaches out to everyone to try to get the family together. But if the energy is not reciprocated, then it's not going to happen. So if you're the only one that constantly is reaching out to your aunts and your uncles or your cousins or whoever is here, and you put out dates and it doesn't happen. You put out ideas and it never happens. Like, you cannot be the only one. There is too many people to try to reach out to and keep up with for you to try to plan something on your own. So, I mean, that gets a little played out after a certain amount of times of you trying to get everybody together to, get just hang out and see one another and check up on one another and see how everybody is doing, how the kids are doing, how your aunts and the uncles are holding up after this major loss that you guys have had in your family. It feels like the longer we wait to get together, the more weird it feels when we do. I don't know if people's true colors are coming out or they just have their own life struggles they are dealing with. No matter what, we should always feel love in our family's presence. So, you know how you have some family members where, I mean, when y'all on, but then if you don't see them for a while, like, if it kind of feels funny or it feels weird when you get around them, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you acting funny or whatever? It's not the same as when the glue is here and you guys all got together and everybody's chilling, vibing, and everything feels right, everything going smooth. It just feels different. It feels different. Simone says so true. And a lot of times it happens only when there's a tragedy, and that shouldn't be. Exactly. So it's like you don't see your family members for all of this time, for months and months and months and months. And then we lose the glue or an important person in our families. And then you see all of these people, all of this family that you haven't seen in so long, and they can live right in your state. You know what I mean? Right in your neighborhood. And you do not see these people until somebody passes away. And that definitely should not be the case. We should be getting together. We should be hanging out. We should be catching up, because a lot of family members out here, they're having kids and their kids are having kids. And then their kids are dating their little cousins and the younger cousins. Like, it's just crazy. You don't know who your family is. So it's good for us to get together. It's good for us to, know who our family is. Like, there's so many different families out here, and cousins are dating cousins because they don't know who the mother is or they don't know who the father is. Like, we have to get our kids together. We have to keep our families together. We have to show our kids who they're related to. We have to introduce them to people and bring them around family members so they can know who their relatives are. Now, it's up to them if they choose to continue relationships with them after that, but at least they know who they're related to, and then things like that won't happen. Because I've seen a couple of videos on like TikTok or Instagram and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, these two people got married and they had children and all that stuff, and 5 or 6 years later down the line, they find out that they're second cousins. Or they find out that their first cousins, a father, was out of state or lives out of state, and you didn't notice his side of the family. And then, like, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And that should not be the case. We should know who our relatives are. We should know who we're related to, so things like that don't happen. Families need to be honest and hold one another accountable for our actions. Now, just because you hold somebody accountable for their action does not necessarily mean that they are going to, they're not going to receive what you're saying in a way that you want them to receive it. So just because we hold somebody accountable, maybe they don't think they did anything wrong. So they're not going to really agree with you on what you're saying because they don't see the problem. They don't see the issue. So that's a big thing. But we have to have somebody in our family who can be the mediator and sit down and talk with, the two people and kind of let them know, like, no, you're serious. You went wrong here. And this is what she's saying to you. She's bringing it to your attention. She didn't appreciate you doing blah, 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 or you said this in a certain manner that it was a little bit harsh or disrespectful. But if we don't have those older adults, like older than us, telling, stepping in and putting somebody in their place, there's never going to be anything resolved. There's never going to be anything resolved. We need to be able to sit down and talk to one another and not yell and scream and want to fight one another to get things hashed out and settled. Because too many times I don't like her, or this, that, and the third. You're going back and forth. You're arguing with your family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, and all of that stuff. It's like, it's unnecessary. Because if the glue was here, this will not be happening. It's very disheartening. It's very disappointing. Because we should know better. We should move better. We should be more mature. We should know how to handle ourselves. We should know how to have self-control. And Simone said, right, there is no qualifying event that has to happen before that takes place. Don't wait for family reunions. Exactly. Family reunions come a dime a dozen. You got to know who your family is. Shannon said, it saddens me that me and my first cousins grew up like siblings, but our kids don't even know one another. Yes, it's very disheartening. It's very sad. It's very sad. And cousins that I grew up with that I was really, really close to, that's not the case anymore for me either. And that's hurtful too, because they were like my sisters, not just my cousins. But it's life. It's life. Life goes on, Like I said, you can't be the only one reaching out and trying to do things with people, because that gets played out really quickly. It really does. So, family needs to be honest and hold each other accountable for their actions. Correct one another with love and concern, not from a judging place. Apologize when you are wrong and forgive, and move on when you have been apologized to. A lot of us, we get apologies and we say, okay, well, she apologized, but she still, if someone gives you an apology and you say, I accept your apology, and you're still holding on to whatever happened, you should not have said you accept the apology, because you don't. You really don't. Don't accept an apology if you don't really plan on moving forward and letting it be, leaving it in the past, moving forward, because the only person you're hurting is yourself by holding a grudge or keep harboring ill feelings. You're just hurting yourself, because trust me, those people are moving forward. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about you. And what about the people that don't apologize, that you just have to forgive anyways? That's for you as well. It's not for them. It's for yourself. It's for yourself. Shannon says, my family has family reunions every year, but after the reunion, they don't keep in touch. Family is very important. Family is very important. It should be very important. But it takes more than one or two people that actually want to be around their family, want to engage with them, want to plan family trips, want to plan family functions. It takes more than two people. Simone says, yes, Shannon, which is the whole point of the reunion, not just for the good food. Shaking my head. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Because it could be some of those cousins that you really, really, enjoy hanging around, and they're a good time and you want to see them more often. Maybe they don't live in the state, but you can definitely, thank God for FaceTime. Thank God for FaceTime, because you can FaceTime them. You can make plans to either you go visit them or they come visit you, or you guys take turns visiting each other, So, I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable. Life is shorter than we think. So we have to live our lives with good intentions and pure hearts. A lot of people are very miserable. and they try to make other people miserable because they're not happy with their life or what's been going on, um, either in their relationships, romantically, with their relationships with their friends, with their relationships at work. It's many different, avenues we could go with that. But when they see that you're happy or you have good things going on for yourself, like they're Debbie Downers. They try to bring you down with them because they're not happy and they don't feel like anything good is going, well for them. So they try to bring you down. And that's the kind of energy that we do not want to surround ourselves with. No matter if it's a family, if it's a best friend, if it's a mother, father, cousin, uncle, whatever. If you try to be there for them and you've done multiple different things to try to like help them or to encourage them and it's just not working, or they continue to be negative and think negative and move negative, there is only but so much things you can do to help a person that does not want to help themselves. So you might have to just love them from afar. Check on them every now and again, but you may have to love them from afar because they will definitely get in your head or they will bring you down. Your spirit, like it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not. I've been there and I've been around someone like that, and it sucks the life out of you. And that I know that's not what you want for yourself. So we have to love one another without stipulations or hidden agendas. Don't just love someone when they're doing something for you. Don't just love someone when they show up. Don't just love someone, you know, with, oh, you did this for me, or you brought me this, or you did this for my kid, or you babysat for me, or this, that, and the third, or whatever the case. Every time I ask you to cook me something or bake me this or bake me that, like, I love you for that. No, it got to be a little bit deeper than that. We have to love one another unconditionally, the way God loves us, no matter what. Everybody is not going to be, that stand up person like you are. Everybody's not going to be honest. Everybody's not going to, be an easygoing person. Some people have things that they struggle with that you are way deeper than you know. So you just have to pray for them. But love them unconditionally. Love them for the person that they are. Love them for the person that they are. Be compassionate. Be understanding. Be less judgmental. Be you at all times. Never let someone make you feel like you need to be more than you are or you're less than what you are. Don't allow people to make you feel that way. If you're coming with good intentions and you're coming with a genuine, pure heart, and you know that what you're doing is from a place of love, then you continue to be that person. Don't let someone change you. Don't become bitter because someone isn't moving the way you expect them to move. Don't return negative energy because they're acting this way or they're being that way. You need to be that way too. No, you continue to be who you are. Because at the end of the day, you will be blessed. You don't want to block your blessings trying to be, ignorant or mean or negative or someone that you are not. Don't block your blessings for anyone. You continue to be you. Wes says sometimes loving them isn't the issue. Not liking their ways makes you want to stay away. That's a fact. And you have all right. You don't have to be around people that make you feel disrespected or, people that manipulate you. You don't have to be around them. We're all adults here. We can pick and choose who we want to be around. If it doesn't serve you a good purpose, if it doesn't feel good when you're around them, if you feel like, you become just sad or, it sucks the energy out of you. You do not have to surround yourself with anything like that, no matter who it is. A child, a parent, a cousin, a uncle, a friend. You do not have to be in their, you don't have to be in their circle. You don't have to be around them. You can, like I said, sometimes we have people that we love so much that, it really hurts us the way they treat us. But it's like, what do you really do? What do you really do? Yeah, you pray for them. Yeah, you still love them, but you don't care to be around them. You know, it's a hurtful feeling to have someone that you love, but just can't stand or don't want to be around. It's a hurtful feeling, but you have to do what's best for you and your health and your peace. Because if you are stressed out, if you are, feeling overwhelmed with the emotions and stuff like that, like, you can make yourself sick. And I'm sure you don't want to be sick because someone, you're harboring these feelings towards somebody that you really love and care about. You don't want to be ill. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself first. And if pulling away means that you have to protect your peace and you're going to be well and you're going to, just not allow yourself to be overcome, be overwhelmed with all of these different emotions, then you have to do what's best for you. And if that means staying away, then stay away for however long it is that you need to stay away. Because I'm all about protecting my peace and my sanity and my mental health. This is very important to me. But let's keep in mind who is now watching over us, expecting us to do what's right. Not only God, but the glue. The glue is watching over you. When you get ready to say some stuff that you know you shouldn't be saying, think about the glue. When you get ready to do some foul nonsense or mess that you know you shouldn't be doing, think about the glue. Because they're watching over you just as well as God is. The matriarch or patriarch of the family. We have to let them know that we love them and what they did for us. We appreciate that. All of the things that they went through, the sacrifices and their time, we have to let them know that it was not in vain, that we understand why they did and said what they said. We understand and we respect and we appreciate all the time and the love and the conversations and the tough love and all of that stuff that they gave us. We have to let them know that we appreciate them. God bless all those that are the glue in the families, that are still here and still alive and still doing what they do for their families. And God bless those that have transitioned on into heaven. We thank you all. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Without some of you, we probably wouldn't even be the people we are today. Because you were patient with us. You loved us unconditionally. If you never experienced unconditional love ever again in your life, and you have had that from your matriarch or patriarch in your family, you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like. And it's one of the best feelings ever that you can ever imagine. You can ever imagine. We love them. We appreciate them. We hold them near and dear to our hearts. You know, like I say with my mom, I talk about my mom because she was basically everything to me. Everything to me. She was my best friend. I feel like she was the matriarch in my family because she was the one that held everybody together when we got together. Like, she was the one cooking the food. She was on a grill, her and my Aunt Mac, but she was on the grill. She was doing everything. Like, she has such a genuine and pure heart. She loved everybody. She would do anything and everything for a stranger walking down the street. She took people into her home. All the kids in the family loved her. All the nieces, the nephews, like she would get all of them over her house. We would all stay the night at my mother's house. At one point in time, she had a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was about 10 of us that stayed the night with her. Me, my kids, my sister was there. She had, I had my little cousins with me. Like we all stayed the night. We watched movies, we ate, and then she would get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and start cooking breakfast for each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. Never complained about it. Didn't talk about cleaning up, nothing. Like she'll just go and do what she got to do. Come and say, come on, y'all. Come on in here and eat. Come on, let's go. She kept everybody together. At family functions, she's the one dancing and having a good time. But let me say this. When it came time to check you, when you were wrong or out of pocket, she was definitely doing that. And you know it came from a place of love, not from judgment, not from a place of, oh, you know better. Because my mom had her share of incidents too. She was not perfect, but she loved unconditionally. She had a great big heart. You know, you could go to her and talk to her about anything. If you came to her with a secret and you told her some of your most craziest or, whatever situations that you were in or things that you've done, like it will never leave her mouth and go to someone else. She would never share your business with someone else. She was like a walking diary for many people. My kids, for myself, I'm sure for my sister, I'm sure for her siblings. Like that's just the person she was. That's just the person she was. So when we talk about glue, I think of my mom. When we talk about holding people together, I think about my mother. And then once they go and you see how different the family is when they're gone, it is very hurtful. It's very hurtful because it's like, dang, did you really feel like this the whole time? I don't know if you guys have unresolved issues or whatever the case is, but that has nothing to do with me. But when I start feeling like I'm being treated differently now that my mother isn't here anymore, like that really is disturbing to me. That really is disturbing to me. So, because I feel like, oh, so it took for my mom to leave or not be here anymore for you to really express how you feel towards me. And that kind of it hurts, but it kind of pisses you off too at the same time because it's like that's phony. It's phony. I don't like phony. I don't like two-faced. I don't like liars. I don't like, just don't do it. Because you don't have to be bothered with me. You don't have to be in my face. You don't have to fake the funk like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, you don't have to do that. So why act that way? When I come around my family, it's genuine for me. I love you guys. I'm coming around because I want to. I miss you guys. I'm truly like in it. But when I don't feel like I'm getting that in return, then yeah, you pull back a little bit. Like you got to reevaluate the situation. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Should I just stay away, check in periodically, make sure that everybody is good? But it's like, then you don't want something to happen to one of your family members and you haven't seen them and you live 2 minutes away. Then that makes you feel bad because it's like, dang, I could have just went to check them, so it's a lot. It's hard. Like once the glue is gone, things definitely change. Things definitely change. I miss my mother so much. Just like her smile, her skin, her energy, her realness. She was a whole vibe. Like, I just, so when people tell me about losing a loved one or, I find out that somebody has lost their mom, like, I feel that. I feel that because it comes from a place of experience. So I feel the hurt. I feel the pain. When you lose your mother, you lose a part of yourself. Your mother is someone you look up to, is your best friend. Um, They nurture you at no matter what age it is. They're your nurturer. They're your protectors. Um, they're your therapists. Because they speak from a place of experience as well. So it's just like when they're not here anymore, yes, we miss the physical the most because we can't hug them or see them or whatever, hearing their laughter or whatever. But it's like the moments and the conversations and the just the spirit that they had when you were in their presence is just an overwhelming feeling that you really, really do miss. You really, really do miss them. So, I'm gonna start bringing it to a close, but I just want to share something with you guys. So I was at my sister's house, last year sometime, and I was over there visiting my niece and just hanging out with my sister, and we're just talking and reminiscing about family and what's going on, and she's giving me the updates about what's going on and all of this stuff. And yes, Shannon, I know you miss your mom too. It's been a long time. Hey Fofo. And oh, we're over there talking and just hanging out and chilling or whatever. So I'm getting ready to go. And then my sister comes to me and she hands me this paper. She's like, I have something for you. I'm like, what you got for me? And she hands me this paper. And I'm like, now, mind you, my mom she had passed away maybe, I want to say maybe 5 years. My mom had been gone already. And so she walks over to me and she hands me this paper. Right. So she was like, and don't read it now, whatever. I'm like, what is this? Like, whatever. She was like, when I was going through mommy things that I still have, because my sister still have some of my mom's stuff. She's like, when I was going through mommy things, I found 2 letters. I said, what? Excuse me. She was like, yeah, I found 2 letters. I'm like, for me? She was like, no, one was for me and one was for you. But she was like, don't read it now because you got to drive home. When you get home and you get some time, read it. I was like, okay. So this here is a letter from my mom that she wrote for me. She wrote my sister a letter and she wrote me a letter before she passed away because she was getting sick. Well, let me just say, my mom was a phenomenal writer, first of all. She wrote short story books for my kids all the time. She wrote short poems and stories for me when I was in grade school. I think that's where I got the writing ability from because when I was in Arbor Hill, I won an essay and I went and had lunch with the mayor, Jerry Jennings at that time. Went and had lunch with the mayor. And I also won the essay contest and I got a partially paid scholarship to St. Rose. Never went there. I should have, but life happened and I just never went to St. Rose. But yeah, so my mom has been writing for years, and she told me when she got sick, she told me, she said, oh, I'm gonna write my biography. I'm gonna write my life story or whatever. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah. So she would be writing every single day. And still to this day, my sister or I have not found this notebook that she was supposedly writing in. I really, really, really hope that we do find it because she still has to go through some of my mom's stuff, but I really hope she finds it. So I'm going to share this letter with you guys, hopefully without crying because, I'm a big baby, but I was just so moved when my sister gave me this letter. I was like, my mom has been gone 5 years and now just reading a letter, because I can hear my mom saying the words as I'm reading it. I can hear her because you know how your parents talk, you know how your mother talks, you know what her voice sounds like. I will never forget what my mom's voice sounded like. So when I read the letter the first time, I was like, oh my God. And I was sitting here with Tiff And it was just such an emotional time for me. I was like, oh my God. Like it was just, and I hadn't heard, like when my mom first passed away, I would like hear from her like in my dreams, or I would dream about her. It'd be something weird, or she'll just pop up, or whatever the case is. Or I would see her number. Her favorite number was 7. So 7 would pop up here and there, or like I would smell her scent. Like she loved Sweet Pea from Bath and Body Works. Is it Sweet Pea? I think it's Sweet Pea from Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secret, one of those. But she loved that scent. And I used to like smell it periodically. I'm like, all right, Ma, I know you here, girl. Like, all right, I love you. So I hadn't heard nothing, saw nothing, whatever. And then my sister pops up with this. And I was just like, I needed it. I needed it at that time because I was just like missing my mother so much. And I just was like, like, where are you? Like, you haven't come to me. You haven't said nothing to me. Like, are you mad at me? Like, these are thoughts that I have. Like, are you upset with me? Am I doing something wrong? Like, are you not happy with me? Like, different things like that. But I know she's not upset with me because she always told me how proud of me she was. She always told me how much she loved me. She always told me how much of a great job I'm doing with my children, and that she admires me for my strength and my courage. And I love and miss that woman so much. So here is the letter. It goes to my firstborn. Hey there, Nisha Boo. All right, now wipe those tears and listen to what I have to say. Although I'm not with you physically, I left a whole lot of memories for you to remember, good and bad. I say that because everybody is not perfect. They say everybody makes mistakes, and I sure have made a whole lot of them. But you know what? God gave me enough time to turn my life around and to be that person I am today. I, at one time, was on that ill, rotten road of drugs and jail, but I got a second chance. You showed me tough love, and hadn't you done that, I don't know where I'd be. I just want to say I love you. I'll be watching over you and my grandkids. And remember, keep going forward. Don't let nothing or no one bring you down. Love always, your chocolate drop. All right, wipe those tears, put your head up, and keep moving forward. Hello, my ace boon coon, with a laugh. My firstborn, when me and your father planned you, I knew the moment you arrived that you were going to be special. You started walking at 9 months. You were able to say a whole sentence at 1 year old. And at 5, when I was sick, you decided then and there that you was going to work in the medical field. Excuse me. And you fulfilled your dream. It's going on 15 years that you held down the same job since you started working there at the age of 20. Mom is so proud of you. I love you to pieces. You have so many memories of me and you together, that you don't have time to miss me, which is a lie because I miss her very much. So I want to thank you and God for giving me such a beautiful and talented child that's all grown up. So your little chocolate drop wants to say, I love you, and wherever you go, I'll be there with you. Thanks for giving me 3 lovely grandchildren, Quay, Unique, and Dante. Take care of my daughter, your mother, because I'll be watching you. I love you. I enjoyed all of our outings all the way to the last minute. So when I'm sitting on your mantelpiece on a shelf, always remember that Mom loves you. And this is the letter that she left to me, and I didn't get until years and years and years later. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for my mother. I'm so thankful for her. because I know I get my strength from her. I know I get my courage from her. I know I get my genuine love for people and care for people, and my compassionate. I'm compassionate towards others. I'm empathetic towards others because I've experienced a lot of different things in my life. And I know that nobody is perfect. And we all don't choose our circumstances. Sometimes we're put in circumstances, but we have to know how to deal. And if you are not a God-fearing person, you will not know how to deal, and you won't know how to move forward because you don't know that your help comes from him. And if you don't trust and put it all in his hands, then you are going to struggle. But when you give it all to God, you can do anything. I promise you, you can do anything. Like my mom, she was my everything, but God is the one who continuously helps me. He strengthens me. He gives me joy. He gives me peace. I don't know what I would do or where I would be without him. So I just say to you guys, like if the glue in your family is still alive, um, cherish them, honor them. If your mom is still here, cherish her. Tell her you love her all the time. Spend as much time with her when you can. If it's your father, whatever, you don't get another one. So you need to cherish them while they're here. If you are going back and forth or you're at each other's throats, make it right. Make it right, because you won't get another chance. They don't come back. You don't get a do-over. This is real life. So make the best of it. Make the best of it. Make the best of it. I love you all, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you that continuously come back to watch Conversations with Mrs. West. I don't take any one of you for granted. I thank God that he allows me to have this platform to talk to you guys, to be transparent with you guys, to be vulnerable with you guys, to be my natural self. I don't ever feel like I have to be somebody else, because I'm not. I'm me, and I love the person that I am. It's just it's a, it's been a long road for me, and I've come so far, and I'm just proud of myself for having the strength and the courage to move forward and leave things that no longer serve me happiness or joy or peace. I'm in a happy space. Oh my God, I'm just in such a great space. I allow God to guide me. I talk to him daily. I meditate. I pray. I read my Bible. And it has gotten me so far. It has helped me. It has healed me. It has strengthened me. It has made me a better person. It has given me an open mind. Seriously. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I just encourage you guys to love your family members, love on one another. When you have fallouts, give it some time and try to, get back with it. Apologize, move forward. Apologize and mean it. Apologize and mean it. And try to move forward. It's very important. It's very important. You don't want to hold grudges. You don't want to be that ill-will person. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to take accountability. It's time for us to, live better lives, make better choices. So I'm going to wrap this thing up with what I always say at the end of my segments. I want you guys to always strive to be your best. This has been Conversations with Mrs. West. I love you all, and I thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you guys keep coming back. Please please share. This is me. This is me. Unapologetically, this is me. And I love myself, and I love all of you guys. And I pray that you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I love you all. Mwah.